My name is Natalia. I'm 59 years old, and for the last, I'd say 8 years, I've been suffering with chronic nerve pain, pins and needles in my arms, my feet, my legs. There's times when I'm walking and all of a sudden I just stop, and it's like my limbs don't want to move. It's like my brain's telling them to move, they're not. I've been suffering from severe fluctuation of blurriness in my vision, wear glasses. However, even with the glasses, there's times when I can hardly see anything. Everything is just a total blur. It's got so bad that even without my glasses, even though I have the greatest ability to see far, there's times that I can't even see far anymore. And basically getting up and getting down, just getting up the stairs was a mission. If I sat down, there were times when I felt as if my hips had locked and then I couldn't stand up, and I looked like I was probably about 90 years old. And it's times I actually thought they're probably more mobile than me. I often had to get up from a couch. I had to use my hands and I had to lift myself and I had to turn. And my husband said to me, it looks like I'm 20 to 30 years older than what I am. And previously I was a very active person. I used to run 18 to 25 kilometer races up to 20 years ago. Then I got Murray 20 years ago. And since then, my life's been a roller coaster, living on cortisone, prednisone, whatever you want to call all this medication. And 2 years ago, I almost collapsed on the beach and Bonito area. And my husband took me to a doctor who then referred me to Bonito Hospital. And there they ran some tests and said that there's a possibility that it could be related to the original Guillain-Barré of 20 years ago, but they did suspect that it could also be a start of MS. I then started having serious bladder issues and all sorts of problems, so I decided that I was going to come to and see Dr. Bhanjan again, who in 2012 discovered that I had some fractured bones in my neck, and I ended up having neck surgery. So I thought I'm going to come back to him, and I did come back to him, put me into hospital. He ran some tests, and the MRI scans showing that there's a high possibility that it could be leading down to that MS. And so he treated me all for neuropathic symptoms. And then he suggested that instead of going on this medication where you inject yourself or a strong cortisone, which he knows are totally against medication, Tupinatas makes me sleep like a baby. So I'm one of those anti-people, and I decided I'm going to beat this. And he suggested that I do the laser. I feel like the whole weight's been lifted off my shoulders, and I just feel that I'm not going to stop. I want to continue doing maybe a monthly, instead of going to physiotherapy or going for massages. I think I would be better off to come to the laser. And it's made a great improvement in just who I am, the way I walk. I can jump again, I can run up the steps. I just feel that I'm totally motivated again, where I was feeling very depressed. And I lost 6.5 kgs, and I have not been able to lose weight for the last 3 to 4 years. No pain, no discomfort. Now and again, I kind of got a little bit of a warm feeling, but I just found that during the treatments, I often got very drowsy, which is a good thing because it felt almost like I was going to fall asleep. And I also found that when I got home, and they do tell you to rest, but I found that just driving not even 2 kilometers down the road, when I got home, 2.5 hours, I just rested and relaxed, and I found that at night I was even sleeping better, whereas before I used to wake up every 1 to 2 hours. I did a lot of research, even in the hospital. I told Dr. Bhanjan, I've just done a research, and in all countries they are actually using it to treat specifically MS, Alzheimer's, and dementia, and there's clinical studies being done. And I said, so yeah, no, I definitely decided. In the third treatment, I already told her that I didn't need a urologist anymore, because basically the issues that I had with my bladder, and as a woman, you really don't want issues with your bladder. It's very embarrassing and it's just demotivating and very depressing. And I promise you, after the third one, I said to her, "You're not going to believe this. My bladder is feeling like it's totally restored. I have no problem. It's like my bladder is a normal young bladder again." And that is what I found. And then I also found that I noticed immediately. I noticed when on the first count that you put what do you call and then she put the laser block on top of my head. And when it came down this way, I noticed that my eye was jumping. So after the second treatment, I noticed that my right side vision was not blue because the right eye was more blurrier than the left one. And I do know that there was a bit of optic nerve issue that was picked up when I was in hospital when they did the test. But yeah, so by the second one, I noticed the difference in this eye. By the third, my bladder, and I just noticed that I was getting up better than what I could before. And then by about the fourth and fifth one, I noticed that I'm not getting back pain at all anymore. And when I mean back pain, it's like sharp nerve pain, almost like it cripples you, like you feel like your hips don't belong to you anymore. I found that right away. And I think about the sixth, seventh one, I mentioned that I wasn't getting pins and needles. I mean, I permanently had pins and needles and I couldn't feel like sensations, and I wasn't feeling. There were times when my nasal area and my mouth area went totally numb, and I could prick it and I had no feeling. All that is gone. All those sensations have gone. I've never had a problem with smell and taste, but I did find that, because doctor also gave me an anti-inflammatory diet from a nutritionist that I didn't follow 100%, but I followed it to an extent. I found that my taste buds, which I always thought were great, actually also improved drastically. So obviously it's the entire neuro system that is boosted, And yes, and then I noticed as well that before, I would be on my feet, even just for an hour or two. I actually just wanted to get off my feet because it was so painful. I noticed that I was just left with a slight little pain in my left foot, but walking and wearing shoes and standing was not painful anymore. So even the pains in my legs, the terrible cramps I was getting, in actual fact, all I can say is that it's been the best thing I've ever done. And even though it's not medical aid, don't pay for this, believe me, it's actually worth it when you've been stuck. It just restores you, just makes you just feel like a normal person again. And I just find that the stress really played a big role. But coming for the laser, even my husband and my son said, "Mom, you seem to cope so much better with the stress now than you did before." I mean, to hear me laugh and joke and do all these silly little things I used to do before, my husband says it's like having the old Antonio back again. Well, I basically think that they are absolutely amazing. I mean, sometimes they're rushing at 10 minutes, 4 minutes late. I think they got used to that. Everybody's so friendly. Everyone pops in to ask how you doing. Even Dr. Bhanjan, if he's around, or fuck his head in. I think it's been amazing. It's like you say, it's like a family. You feel like they know you and that they care, So, and my therapist has been amazing. We've laughed together, or first cried together. It's just been amazing. It's like I've adopted her, like she's my daughter, That's how great she's been with me. I wasn't embarrassed when I had to take my clothes off and put a wrap around so that I could sit here. She just made me feel at ease. So, and to say it's a great big thank you that I would like to say to this entire clinic and to the staff. Just that, I cannot thank the doctor enough. The fact that he's decided to implement this laser therapy in Durban and even in South Africa. And I have informed a lot of people. I've told them I've gone medical treatments. They've asked me what it is. I've explained to them. Actually, family in Australia, they told me they've got a friend who's got crippling MS. She's in a wheelchair, and apparently she's been undergoing the laser, exactly the similar to what Dr. Bhanjan's doing, and also amazing results. So as you speak to people and you hear what a difference laser makes in their lives, but just gives you such a great feeling, to know that there's something out there that is helping people. So Dr. Bhanjan, it's not just like it's his practice here and I'm making money out of it. He's actually helping people.